When people think of wealth in Phoenix, they picture places like Scottsdale, Paradise Valley, and maybe even more North Scottsdale. And honestly, they're not wrong. But what if I told you some of the most interesting and in some cases most strategic luxury buying opportunities in the valley aren't in any of those places? In fact, some of the smartest high net worth buyers moving here right now are choosing areas most people completely overlook. And if you're relocating to Arizona with a $1 million plus budget, this might completely change where you decide to live. Because in this video, we're breaking down the wealthiest neighborhoods across the Phoenix Valley. But more importantly, what nobody tells you about each one, where the real money is going, where the wealth lives, and where you might be overpaying without even realizing it. And make sure you stay until the end, because I'm going to show you one area that's becoming a magnet for luxury buyers. And almost no one is talking about it yet. Let's start the countdown. I'm going to start with a place that a lot of people moving here completely underestimate. That's Arcadia. Now, Arcadia sits in Phoenix right next to Scottsdale, right at the base of Camelback Mountain. And on paper, it doesn't scream ultra luxury the way Paradise Valley does. But that's exactly why it's so powerful. Arcadia is what I'd call old money meets new money transformation. You've got these large irrigated lots, mature trees, citrus groves, which by the way is rare in the desert. And then layered on top of that, you've got brand new multi-million dollar custom builds going up right next to 1950s ranch homes. And that mix is exactly what's driving demand. The people moving here, a lot of them are coming from California, from Seattle, from places where walkability and lifestyle matter just as much as the square footage. Because here's what nobody tells you. Arcadia isn't just about the homes, it's about how you live. You're 5 to 10 minutes from some of the best restaurants in the entire state. You've got views of Camelback, and you're in a neighborhood that actually feels alive and not just gated and quiet. Homes here typically range from about 1.5 million up to 5 million plus for new construction. And the highest end builds, they go fast. Because if you think Arcadia is where the trend is, wait until you see where the next wave is going. And that's Arcadia Light. And this is where things get interesting. Arcadia Light is just a little southwest of Arcadia, a little more raw, a little more transitional. But this is where younger, high-income buyers are going. Entrepreneurs, remote business owners, people who don't necessarily want the country club feel. And what's happening here is something we've seen in other major cities. It's early stage gentrification, but at a high level. You're seeing teardown projects, modern builds, design forward homes popping up in pockets that 5 to 10 years ago weren't even on the radar. Prices here are still slightly lower than Arcadia, typically $800K to $2 million. But the trajectory matters. Buyers who get in early often see the biggest upside. And if you're relocating and thinking long-term, this is one of those areas you at least need to understand before making a decision. Now, let's shift into something a little more expected, but still misunderstood. The Biltmore area. Now, most people know Biltmore for the resort, but what they don't realize is this entire corridor stretching towards Piesta Wapeak is one of the best strategically located luxury pockets in Phoenix. This is where you get proximity to downtown, high-end shopping, golf, and quick access to literally everything. The vibe here is executive convenience, a lot of business owners, professionals, people who want luxury but don't want to feel isolated. Homes range from $1 million condos all the way up to $4 million custom homes tucked into the mountains. And here's what nobody tells you. For certain buyers, especially those relocating for business, this actually makes more sense than Scottsdale. Less drive time, more central, and still very much luxury. But if you're looking for something more private, more exclusive, we need to go further out. Let's talk about North Scottsdale. This is where most out-of-state buyers think they want to be. And again, they're not wrong. You've got communities like DC Ranch, Greyhawk, and of course, Silverleaf. Now, Silverleaf is in a category of its own. Guard-gated, ultra-private, golf community, custom estates that can easily exceed $10 million and even $20 million. This is where athletes, executives, and ultra high net worth individuals tend to land. The lifestyle here is curated. Everything is polished, controlled, and built around exclusivity. Now, here's the part most people don't realize until after they move. We've worked with buyers who chose North Scottsdale for the space, the gated feel, the prestige, and about 6 months in, they started noticing something they didn't expect. Every dinner was 20 to 25 minutes away. Every quick trip turned into a drive. And it wasn't that they didn't love the house, they just didn't love how they had to live to enjoy it. And while it's beautiful, it can also feel a little manufactured for some people, especially if you're coming from a city with more character or culture. And that's why some buyers, after looking here, start exploring alternatives, which brings us to Desert Mountain. Now, this is one of the most overlooked ultra-luxury communities in the entire valley, and it's a completely different experience than Silverleaf. This is true desert living. Higher elevation, 5 to 10 degree cooler temperatures, massive custom homes, and one of the most exclusive private club systems in the country. We're talking multiple golf courses, private dining, spa, hiking. Homes here range from about $2 million up to $15 million. But what makes this special isn't just the homes, it's the feeling, privacy, space, nature. This is where people go when they want luxury without the spotlight. Now, if you think that's private, wait until we talk about this next area, because almost nobody relocating here even considers it, and that's Fountain Hills. And this is one of the biggest hidden gems in the Phoenix area. It sits just east of Scottsdale, and most people only know it for the fountain. But what they don't see are the hillside estates, the insane views, and the level of privacy you can get here for the price. Homes range from about $800,000 up to $3 million plus. And for what you get, it's one of the best value plays in the valley. You can have a custom home on a view lot with space for significantly less than Scottsdale or Paradise Valley. And here's the kicker. A lot of buyers who start in Scottsdale end up here after seeing what their money actually gets them. Now let's go even further out, because the next area is where we're seeing a very specific type of buyer move, Queen Creek. Now, 5 to 10 years ago, this wouldn't even be in the conversation. But today, it's one of the fastest growing luxury pockets in the entire East Valley. And it's attracting a different kind of wealth. Business owners, people relocating from California, buyers who want land. We're talking half-acre, acre, even multi-acre properties, custom homes, RV garages, casitas, space to build. Prices range from about $900,000 to $2.5+ million. And here's what nobody tells you. For a lot of high-income buyers, this is the first time they can actually build the lifestyle they've always wanted. Not just a house, a compound. Now, if Queen Creek is about space, the next area is about something completely different, Gilbert. And this is one of the most misunderstood markets for people relocating to Arizona. Because on the surface, Gilbert doesn't scream luxury. It doesn't have the same name recognition as Scottsdale. It's not as flashy as Paradise Valley. But that's exactly why so many high-income families are choosing it. Gilbert is what I'd call structured, predictable, high-quality living. It's located in the Southeast Valley, right next to Mesa, Queen Creek, and Chandler, and over the last decade, it's completely transformed. What used to be farmland is now one of the most desirable suburban environments in the entire state. The feel here, it's clean, master planned, extremely well maintained. You've got wide streets, new infrastructure, top-rated schools, and a level of consistency that a lot of out-of-state buyers are specifically looking for. Now let's talk about the homes. In Gilbert, you're going to find large production homes, semi-custom builds, and in certain pockets, fully custom luxury homes on bigger lots. Communities like White Wing, Higley Groves, and some of the newer gated enclaves. and where you'll see homes pushing well over 1 million, even 2 million, even 3 million. And here's what nobody tells you. A lot of buyers who think they want Scottsdale end up choosing Gilbert after they actually spend time here, because the lifestyle is easier and for families, it just works. Now, here's the trade-off, and this is important. You're not getting the same wow factor as Paradise Valley. You're not getting the nightlife of Old Town Scottsdale, but what you are getting is consistency. Now, if Gilbert is about structure and predictability, the next area we're about to talk about is where buyers go when they realize they don't need to follow the crowd at all, and that's Mesa. I know Mesa doesn't usually come up in luxury conversations, but that's exactly why this matters. Areas like Las Sendas, certain citrus corridor pockets, and custom home enclaves are some of the most underrated luxury areas in the valley. You've got golf communities, mountain views, custom homes, often at a lower price point than Scottsdale. And the buyers moving here, they're informed. They've done the research, and they realize they don't need to pay a premium just for a zip code. Now, we've covered a lot of ground, but we haven't talked about the one area that everyone expects, Paradise Valley. This is the crown jewel, no question. This is where you'll find some of the most expensive real estate in all of Arizona. Massive estates, gated compounds, mountain views in every direction. Homes here typically start around 3 million and go well beyond 20 million. This is where CEOs, pro athletes, and generational wealth tend to land. Here's the biggest mistake we see in Paradise Valley. Buyers fall in love with the idea of the zip code, but not the specific pocket. And in this market, 2 homes 5 minutes apart can have completely different long-term value. And if you don't know these micro differences, you can overpay and not even realize it until later. Now let's zoom out for a second, because if you're relocating to Arizona with a $1 million plus budget, the biggest mistake you can make is choosing your area based on what you've heard instead of how you actually want to live. Every one of these neighborhoods offers something completely different. Walkability versus privacy, land versus convenience, new money versus established prestige. And most people don't realize what they actually want until they see it in person. So here's the reality. If you're even thinking about making a move to the Phoenix area, you need a strategy, not just listings, not just Zillow scrolling, a real understanding of where you fit best before you make a $1 million plus decision. So if you want help navigating that, understanding these areas at a deeper level, or even just figuring out where you want to start, reach out to us. My contact is in the description. We work with a lot of out-of-state buyers making this exact move, and we can help you avoid the mistakes most people don't see coming. And if you want to see the areas in Phoenix that are growing the fastest right now, watch our next video, because it might completely change your timing. See you next time.